actually, because I don't see anything on my Instagram that says like that I need to do something.
Well, we're live on YouTube right now, and we're going to be live on Instagram in a second.
Okay.
If there isn't an issue, there it goes. We will find out. You can take a look if you're showing up on yours.
Okay.
Um, because because of the restream key, that there's like Instagram specifically has a restream, and I don't know if you had to plug that in somewhere. If there isn't an issue, there it goes.
Oh yeah, I see it live on Instagram now.
There we go.
There
So
we go.
you can tell all your peeps to join us. You were the first interview, the first guest on Compass Backstage.
So
Yify,
honored.
we've known each other. How many years have we been working together?
We met each other in 2017 in your New York apartment.
In New
Yeah.
York, yeah, in the New York studio. Amazing. We've been working vocally together for a long time, and then you did Compass recently, and I really would love to talk about that journey. This whole process. Well, you know me. I love conversation. I love talking real talk. I love empowering the artist, and for me, this conversation is an opportunity to share your experience with people, which will be empowering to others, which is also just a behind the scenes of the creative process is really important,
Yeah.
as opposed to artists just seeing like the finished product by the top
Yeah.
5 artists of the world and going, oh my gosh, how do I do that? That's not what you're going to do. Like, and it's not what you do for 7 years getting wherever you get in terms of like, you know, I'm going to say the peak of your success, which then just goes into a little valley and then a peak in a valley and it keeps going. Right. Um,
Mhm.
so I do believe that like coaching for 34 years has taught me that we're all doing the same thing. Just people don't realize that other people are doing it and tend to
Mm.
think, oh, I'm struggling like this, but they have it easy, or they're doing it better. I'm like, no, everybody sits down to write a song and looks at a blank page, and we all
Mm.
start there.
Mm.
And every songwriter I know, when they write a song that they feel so strongly about, says, "Up, I'll never be able to do that again."
Yes.
Amazing. So I love the opportunity to have a conversation with you and share it with people. And if you all have questions for us and for Efi during this conversation, please put them in the comments. Let's ask questions. Um, my first question for you: if you think back to where you were creatively before Compass, um, Compass being my 6 month artist development program, where we dove deep into you, and you can share more what Compass is for you. But if you think before the process and before the program, what was feeling stuck or unclear or maybe just off for you?
I think for me, I'm an artist who I've always thought of myself as having multiple lanes of things that I do. So, for example, one of them was sound healing, and that was something I discovered during the pandemic. And I had a lot of challenges merging that with my singer-songwriter material, and then my a little bit of a third lane, which is electronic music. And so I was feeling really scattered and really overwhelmed in terms of how do I bring all of this together? Who am I as an artist as a result of doing all of these things? And I think for me, what I discovered during this work is like, no, it's not who am I as a result of all of these lanes. It's like these lanes are here because of who I am. And then when I got clear on who I am, I was able to communicate that. And then all of the lanes started to make sense.
That's awesome. And do you feel like are the lanes distinctly different, or like is it just you doing A and you doing B? How would you describe those lanes now?
Yeah. So for me, what I got really clear on is one of my archetypes, the work that we did in Compass is actually a healer. And so for me, music, the mission of why I make music is to heal. And so whether it's sound healing or expressing myself through stories in singer-songwriter music or like incorporating like beats that were uplifting in the electronic music that were the tracks, it was all for the purpose of healing.
Mm.
And So that was really like able to help me spark some new ideas on, like, for example, I loved hosting full moon sessions where I just would like bring my local community together. We would do some sound healing bowl meditations, but then also hear some songs, and I would tell people the backstory behind these songs. So I felt like it all made sense. And yeah, still working through the way that it's all communicated, but I, at least as an artist, am really clear about why, the way, like, who I am as an artist and what I'm offering.
That's amazing. I love that, and the fact that even like those 2 lanes of, okay, I'm gonna do this healing experience with sound healing, and then I'm gonna sing songs and tell stories, recognizing that those 2 can coexist. It's not like the healing world is only for the sound bath, and the singer-songwriter is like a different audience. Like, the fact that you're like, "No, I'm the same artist, and I can do these things in one sitting."
Exactly, exactly.
And you could even go from like, "Oh, we're gonna do a full moon session from like from this hour to this hour is sound healing, and from this hour it's singer songwriter, and then in the evening, or
That's
maybe in the
exactly
evening at sunset, it's a dance electronic party, and
what
people could stay for the whole journey, or people could just come for the portion that they connect to the most."
exactly, exactly. Actually, one of the goals is to eventually do a sleep concert where it's like, before you go to sleep, maybe it's the singer-songwriter stuff, and then during sleep it's sound healing and like background type of electronic stuff. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
If he's gonna have the if he's gonna have the like a 24 cycle, which is actually like it's very Sufi music and Hindustani, like concerts can last 24 hours. Like, and in
Oh
fact,
wow.
Sufi, not music so much. I mean, it's music, but Sufi festivals and prayers can go on for days until everybody's like spent.
Oh wow.
Basically, they sing until they can't anymore.
Wow, I love that. Okay.
And that is like literally a spiritual endeavor, right? And all
Love
music
it.
is healing, but the fact that you were like, this is my purpose in it, and it's still evolving, right? It's always going to evolve. Like, it's going to
Yeah.
evolve in terms of how you want to share it, offer it, how you do something and you go, oh, wow, I love this part the most out of what I did. Let me see if I can expand that section more because that felt the most fulfilling. So it's
Yeah.
keep evolving.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, for
love
sure.
that clarity. And I know from the deck that you created and that, worked with you on this, that like this sort of coexisting, here's me in this setting, here's me in that setting. Also, here's the English and here's the Chinese.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's a duo of you happening all the time.
Yes, yes, yes. I think through my work with you, like, the other benefit that I really got out of it and the clarity is like, it's it was just like a sense of clarity on how I would exist as both an English and a Chinese artist, and that it was okay to embody both, actually.
You're both, right? You're
I
like,
know, I'm both. Yeah, but sometimes it's felt awkward, because it's like,
sure.
oh, which one are you? But yeah, yeah,
Again, well, let's go back to this idea of like you said, lanes, binary thinking. Like
yeah,
and you started the conversation by saying, I have many talents, I see myself in many. I mean, who human beings are multifaceted, multi-gifted, like, of course. So like
yeah,
we think
yeah.
of like, I'm a this slash that, and they aren't separate identities. They are you. I do this discipline, I do that discipline, I find my fulfillment and joy here. So, but yes, as you said, it can be binary thinking can often be like, I can't blend these things, or I don't know how to blend these things, or
Yeah,
can they coexist, and or will my audience let those things happen together? And really,
right.
it's I see this whole process as an integration of yourself, and the awareness to name things gives us the power to identify and
Mm,
therefore have clarity. Um,
mm,
when you can say like, oh, this is this thing, you go, oh yeah, there's clarity around that. It's not murky, it's not gray, it's not, I'm not
yeah,
kind of avoiding giving it a name, which makes me detached, right? So the clarity of that then allows you to say, oh, it's cinnamon, I'm sprinkling a little in. Oh, need a little more
right.
salt. I can just do these, I can do what I want with these ingredients now, and I know what they are, and I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a high percentage of this and a little percentage of that and a high percentage. I do believe that naming things, that was something I learned just in my personal life, that
Mhm.
actually naming and having clarity around something was, language gives us a lot of clarity.
Mm.
And so to name it, to know it, to call it
Yeah.
something, I don't think that specificity makes it smaller. I think it helps us expand.
Mm. It helps us be more intentional, I feel like.
There you go. I
Yeah.
like that phrase. I
Yeah.
like that phrase a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And when, we talk about like some of the ingredients that make you you, or your expression, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's this archetype, or there's always, I'll be random for a second. Oh, there's nature in what I do, and there's lightning in what
Yeah.
I do. Like, just whatever, the four elements need to be there. If you're doing a
Yeah.
photo shoot or you're doing a music video and you're like, there's something missing, and oh, these four ingredients have to be there. The third one's cut really missing. I'm not feeling it. How do we bring out the third one in this? And
Yeah.
again, being able to name it and say these are ingredients that make me me and how I show up, it's very clear to then, just like you would, play with the knobs. When I say the knobs, how you would play
No.
with the board in engineering, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I need more mids, I
Yeah.
need more highs, I need more lows.
Sure. Yeah.
You play with the ingredients to express yourself, but you need to know the ingredients.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll just say a little bit because I worked with this really awesome photographer, Julia Drummond, here in New York City, and I feel like just me going into that photo shoot this time, I was able to be so clear with those ingredients that I wanted. And we had like specific geometric shapes that were the ones that I really wanted, specific types of clothing that I wanted to incorporate. We just got really, really specific with the board that we put together, to the degree of like planning out three specific looks for, like for basically like two specific looks, but like sub looks within each look. So I think because of that specificity, we were able to get really good results. Yeah.
I remember like talking to you about it, that the board you created and we went through and identified things, that seeing your photos there, you absolutely captured, like, here's my inspiration, here are the ingredients of my inspiration, these are the things I love. The photo shoot, like, your work together is fire. It's like I see all the elements there. I see you. I see the nothing's derivative of, it's not a copy of, it's your inspiration led to a great expression of you.
Mm,
It's remarkable.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's a great collaboration, and your photographer was phenomenal at capturing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to share some of the photos on the next project.
For example, there was an artist in the current cycle or the last cycle? No, the current cycle. And she was showing us um, some new merch. It was like, yeah, I'm kind of checking it out, like seeing what if I like it. And they're like, it's not really like the color that I wanted it to be, but I don't know, it's okay. I was like, wait a minute. The entire point of this process is for you to create something that is very you, right? So I asked them, like, what do you like about it? And there was an element in there, element in the image they really liked. And then I said, can you show me like what you showed the artist? And then, she shared the visuals and stuff that she showed the artist that was making the design for the merch. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's amazing. Like, your vision is amazing. That's not a match at all, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
the purpose of Compass is to enable you to communicate your vision so someone can execute it. And I
Oh,
said, and my response was, either you go back and communicate what you love about, like, why is this stuff not in there? Or that
yeah.
artist isn't capable of it because you showed them this inspiration and they came up with something that is not that at all. And you might just
Mm,
need to do a little shopping, like looking for an artist that can interpret, and that's
mm,
your vision. And that's why I say you found an artist who really gets your vision and worked with you to create it.
right. Right.
And it, that is, it's both. Like, I don't ever want to see the artist go, okay, I guess I'll accept what you just gave me, even though it's not at all what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But often I mean, I'm guilty of this. Like we think the onus is on us, where we're like, I guess I didn't explain it well, or I didn't something. Like
Right.
we take
Right.
like, I mean, we're the leader. You're the artist. It's your
Yeah.
vision, but you're working with a lot of people to help you execute it. It takes time to
Yeah.
find a producer that really gets you and listens to you and creates with you. The photographer
Yeah.
that creates with you.
Yeah.
So that's where the research comes in. That's where
Yeah.
looking at their work and saying, are they creating art that I love? And do they have elements that if we combine those plus my stuff, we'd get something I love? That you need to see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I will also say, like, just through the experience of working with different people, I feel like having a pretty in depth session before committing to working together always helps because you figure
Mm,
out, like, you're kind of on the same wavelength where you can build off of each other, because it's always a good feeling to build off of each other instead of like kind of sitting in different rooms and like talking at the wall.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, got another question for you.
Yeah.
Was there a moment in the process of Compass, the 6 month process of exploring and researching and playing and putting in action, was there a moment that surprised you, like, oh, I didn't know that was part of my story, or I didn't realize I was holding that back?
For me, that moment was basically like just actually regaining some of my memories as a child before the age of 10. Like, even those memories were really fuzzy to me before Compass, for multitude of reasons. But when I was able to reclaim those memories and like reclaim that version of me who was actually quite bold, unafraid, very extroverted, very in everybody's faces, which is like different than the adult version of me, I was able to reconnect with that side and incorporate that into some of my music. Yeah, so that was a breakthrough for me. Yeah.
That is awesome. I I fully believe that we come into this world with our own spirit, and then the world affects us and
Yeah.
either like lifts it and elevates it and or
Yeah.
suppresses it. I mean, I'm a parent. I literally am looking at my kids going, how can I help you be you and not just basically not get in the way too much, right? How can I be here loving towards you and not cause that suppression, not cause a shutdown of your creativity and emotions. Um, so we come in with this beautiful energy, and then the world affects us, and then I think that adulting is peeling away the stuff that got put on us so that
Mm,
spirit of
mm,
you gets to shine again. So I'm humbled. I'm privileged um, to contribute to that process for you, that you got to reconnect to your own little Yify spirit and reconnect so that it can be expressed in your art.
yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because I feel like as artists, like the more you can reconnect with all of these different fragments of yourself, the more I feel like intact your energy is when you show up to the world.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a feeling of strength. It's like I literally feel like my energy little bubble kind of grew in size.
Woo! Literally healing. I mean, you healed yourself and reconnected to yourself, and now that's part of your power.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that way of putting it. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
You're powerful to have, and I love what you said of like you have more energy because literally those fragments are now solid
Yeah.
and secure, and you're like, oh, I'm coming from this very strong fortitude place of myself, and that energy is
Mm,
combined for you.
mm.
Well, it's beautiful. Goosebumps. Are there differences now, or what is different now when you sit down to create, write, produce, compared
Yeah.
to pre-Compass? Like, are there differences?
Definitely. I feel like the biggest difference for me is the process that I create because when I reconnected with that child version of me, and actually one of my archetypes is the magical child, um, which I know is yours as well. Um, it like that version of me or that archetype actually when I asked her what she wanted out of this whole experience and sharing herself through my music, she was like, we want to write more freely. I tend to be very perfectionistic when I write, and so it used to take me like I used to like just feel really stuck when I sit down to write because I would constantly be like, oh, this isn't good enough. Let's make it better. This isn't good enough, to the point where I wouldn't finish a song, and like to the point where I wouldn't write a new song like months and months and months. And now it's like I basically try to write at least one song a day, where even if it's not, not anything, or like not what I would consider good, it's out. And then I get to judge it later, basically.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Again, that's a huge win. Like,
Yeah.
that's huge. Because, yes, perfectionism is very paralyzing.
Yeah.
When you're judging in the process, you stop the process. Right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
literally like, there's a flow that wants to happen, and you're going, no, 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 right? And now you're like, yes, yes. So the flow gets to happen. And, I do believe it's writing 100 songs to find five amazing ones. It's some of the songs
Mm,
you write every day are not meant to be songs. They're just you letting off steam. It's your
yeah.
diary. It's a healing experience. It's a writing exercise. Like everything we write isn't meant for publication.
Yeah.
There's no way. Who like nobody's that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like it's also just letting myself be really weird, because before, showing up to write felt like, oh, this is my career. I need to, out produce output. But now it's like, no, this is play, actually, because without play, it can't be sustainable.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Ah, that's everything. Because I
Yeah.
mean, scientifically, they show us we learn better when we play. Like we are meant. If I have learned one thing from my kids, and I've learned a lot, they literally wake up and start playing, and they don't want to go to sleep at night because they want to play more. Like they'll literally say to me, "No, I just need a little time to play, Mom. I need to play a little." I'm like, "You've been playing all day." Yeah, but I need to play a little, just a little, Mom. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and and when they're sleeping, you know that they're laying down and they're like grabbing one of their toys and like. I'm like, honey, you need to put that down to sleep, right? And then I'm like, you know what? She'll fall asleep with it in her head. But literally, we're designed to play and explore and be curious all day long, and
Yeah.
that's kind of it. Like that's it. We're
Yeah.
meant to do that, and of course now it's with as adults we play with intention. You play with to heal. You play to heal. You play
Right.
to heal yourself and then share that and heal others. Um,
Yeah.
and someone else plays to help people just forget their troubles, and someone else does it for.
Yeah.
But that's glorious. Like all that writing makes you a better writer. All that writing makes you have it allows you fun. Like
Yeah.
there's so many wins in that.
Yeah.
And some of it is going to be in your career and some of it is just for you in life.
Yeah, yeah. Because for me, a lot of playing is like the different sonic palette. And I know part of Compass is to discover the sonic ingredients that makes us like that we like.
Yeah.
And what I found is like allowing myself to play actually helps me to get more clear on what that is. Because I thought I had a version of it, and then as I played more, I was like, oh wait, no, I'm gonna add more stuff to it actually.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love when an artist surprises me. I love when I'm hearing a song and I'm like, "Oh, I did not expect that change or that tone or that some just surprise." And
Yeah.
that requires that exploration and play. That requires the artist to surprise themselves. That
Yeah.
requires the artist to say, "I'm going to do this weird thing."
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
I love that. Man, I love that. I'm just so excited.
Because what I found is like the weirder you let yourself be, the less and less pressure there is, and when there's no pressure, like the essence of you just kind of pours out, and then you're like, oh, this is what I wanted to say. Oh, okay. Let's build around this now.
I'm just going to quote you on that right there. I mean, brilliant and so joyful. Like, I mean, like you said, we've known each other for quite a number of years, and we started doing vocal sessions, and I've seen the growth in you. Obviously, like I've seen the massive growth in you as an artist, and I see this in you now. The play, the way less like pressure. Like I see the pressure that's off, and so I see the thriving. I also see
Mhm.
you like going for things within your career on the business side that you weren't
Mhm.
doing before, and you're like, oh, these are new business adventures, and you're taking these risks because of this play, this confidence, this, yeah, I'm going to put myself out there for that. I'm going to go
Yeah.
for everything. That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how success happens. Success happens because you're like, yeah, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah. 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 Whereas before it was like, oh, is this for me? Am I going to be successful? Does it sound like what I wanted to sound like? It was a lot of boxes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And now it's just a lot of fun weirdness at play.
Yes.
What part of yourself feels more seen, expressed, or understood after going through it?
Mm. I feel like there's the relationship with myself that feels more seen, and then there's the relationship probably with my audience. I think the part with myself is obviously what we just talked about, the child side, the one that's more playful, bold. And then I feel like maybe as a result of that, with my audience, at least my intention for what is going to come, because I'm still working on this project and I'm planning to release it in early 2026. But my intention there is that my audience also sees this difference for those who followed me for a while. And it inspires them to like try new things in their life, because a lot of my audience is actually the creative type. They are artists, they create things on the side. And so my intention is that through my exploration, it inspires them as well. And then I think the other part is like, through this exploration, I was actually able to connect with, I feel like might be like a past life memory actually, or like past life kind of voices. And I'm like channeling some of that through this new body of work right now.
Mm.
So I would love for that side of, it's almost like a persona, if you will. The voice who's like speaking through these new songs. I would love for that voice to be seen and to be heard. So that's one of my intentions as well.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Give me like one, I don't know if to say hint, but like one descriptor of that voice.
I feel like that voice is definitely like a mystic gypsy kind of persona. Like that voice has seen a lot, lived a lot of lifetimes, seen the darkest of darkness in humanity, but also love and light. And it just has a lot of wisdom to share, I think. Yeah.
Amazing. More healing, more wisdom, more inspiration. Oh shoot, that's amazing. Trying to move my leg and get comfortable, and I just like
Oh
moved the
my
whole.
gosh.
Okay, that was amazing. Look at that, like rocked the world with that thought, with that persona.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I feel like the visuals in my head is really clear too of the video that I want to put together for it. It's definitely like in nature, forest, and like this gypsy kind of persona is going to come through.
I love all those things: nature, forest, and the nomad, the gypsy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing. My connection to, I would say, any culture, like for whether it be like if it's my past life, like my connection is always with the nomad, like the nomadic group of
mm-hmm.
country.
Wow.
Yeah, it's where I'm drawn to. It's where I've lived. It's where I've been. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, amazing. I love that. Speaking my language. Let's see. Question: were there moments? Ooh, yeah, that's good. Were there moments that felt messy or uncomfortable, or like resistance? You wanted to quit, like, and in this process of, because it's a lot of self discovery. I mean, I talk about it on the website. I talk about it before. Like, you're gonna face resistance. Um,
Yeah.
how did you move through that in this? Because it's, you're looking at yourself. We're not all pretty. We're not all. My daughter asked me about this today. She said she had something about like, do they get the bad guy? And actually, what it came up for me was like, well, there's no bad guy. Like, nobody's bad or good. We
Uh,
all, right? Like,
yeah.
we're all human, and
Yeah.
we can make great choices and not great choices, and you can do things that aren't great behavior. Like, I didn't go that deep. She's 3.5, but I did say, but I was like, yeah, like no one's a bad person. And of course, as an adult, you and I could point to something and say, that's really evil. Like I'd be like that. But I
Yeah.
also know that I also know that I would find compassion for someone, especially once I know someone's history. Like you, like,
Mm,
yes, like definitely not cool, but I have compassion and understanding. They're human. So
mm,
that's why I say like it can be uncomfortable to look at our humanness, right? And our and at the same time when you say, for example, oh, I've been a perfectionist, and you look at that and you go, this is stopping me. You go, oh, well, what can I do to have this not stop me? And now you flip the coin on its head and you're like, oh, amazing. So that like that moment of
yeah,
discomfort turned into like this beautiful fountain
yeah.
of joy and change. So were there moments in this process that felt messy or uncomfortable, and how did you move through that?
No, definitely. I feel like, especially in the beginning, there was just a lot of resistance because I think one of the exercises was to find like a picture of yourself when you were really, really young, right? And then to reconnect with that. And for me, I don't know why, but it was like there was a lot of resistance that came up just with that. And I think it was like some adult version of me who didn't really want to reconnect with that side of me was
Yeah.
like, no, we actually don't want to go back there, you know? And I feel like how I worked through it was, I think my intention was just really strong of like, no, I actually want to see whatever is making me uncomfortable because I want to be a better artist and I want to be a more whole kind of like person, you know? And because that intention was so strong, I was like, okay, something is making me uncomfortable. I'm just gonna go through it.
That's awesome, and that's courageous. You're like, I'm gonna look at the resistance. I'm gonna lean into it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
And
the
eventually
courage it
the
takes.
memories, like the memories even started to like come back bit by bit. Yeah.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, I think there's when we do inner work. I've had a moment like where I was doing the toughest stuff, and I felt like I was in a tunnel, and I can't go back anymore. And there is a light down there, but like I got to get through this tunnel. And
Yeah.
tunnel was tough, but like the other side is just a completely different experience, landscape, and feeling than where I came from. So it's so
Yeah.
worth
Yeah. I feel like that's like in a nutshell what healing is. That's like the healing experience,
it.
like the awakening experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that art, obviously not all art is pain, but I think that
Mm.
turning something painful into something beautiful is something that art can do, and that some artists, that's what they use their art for, like taking something
Mm.
challenging, difficult, painful, and turning it into beauty through art is amazing.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
becomes the thing that inspires people, and it becomes the thing that people don't feel alone because of it. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you have that experience too. You get me. You see me. Your fans feel seen.
Yeah. That's so powerful. That is so powerful.
Really. Um, were there moments? Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Well, you may have answered this a little, but how do you feel about sharing your art with the world now? Like, I know that I've heard you say today, like you're excited to do this and you're excited to do that. How do you feel about the art you're sharing and like what's to come?
Yeah, no, I'm super, super, super excited. Yeah, I feel like I've spent this year and well, I've spent part of last year doing this work together and getting really clear on who I am as an artist and the types of work that I want to do. And then that's informed this new body of work that I'm about to share early 2026. So right now, just like in this mode of putting the final touches on recordings, getting videos together, and then super excited to share with the rest of the world. It's almost like unveiling kind of like who I know myself to be as an artist, but no one else knows yet. So it's like peeking through the curtains.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Yeah, it makes me
Yeah.
think of that piece of art that's covered with the cloth, and you go, to let
Yeah.
it be seen. But you know what's under there. You are like, oh my gosh, y'all, like you don't even know. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. I'm excited. And I know some of this. I've had some sneak peeks. Like I'm excited for the whole of it. Something I've noticed, um, and in fact, it's made me realize we need to do something for Compass, which is, um, I was like, we need before and after. Like when people start the process, I just want to grab screenshots of people's Instagram. Just like here's their general vibe brand photo, right? Because what
Yeah.
I'm seeing like from your cycle and the next cycle, like because people are putting projects out and
Yeah.
the albums, the music, the visuals, the difference is enormous.
Yes.
And what came to me in terms of describing it is everything is so rich and full of depth that it makes me curious and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much there. I need to know more. I want to know, I want to hear that song. I want to see this whole thing. I want to know what's next. And that,
Mm.
like, flashy marketing is really shiny and shallow.
Mm.
And the artist that's done this work is rich with depth and
Yes. Yes. You can feel it in what they put out because I know what you're talking about too. Even just looking at some of the cohort of people that I went through Compass with, seeing the works that are coming out, it's almost like, in marketing they say like you have to hook your audience, right? But like I think art that has depth, it just naturally does the hooking by just giving you a snippet of, like, for example, like the first 30 seconds of a video, right? And then you're just like, wow, I know there's a whole story here and I
yes.
want to see the whole thing.
I love that you use the word whole. There's a wholeness to it. There's something very rich and complete. And I'm like, I need to know more about this. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's so cool. Yeah, I don't like, Amanda Black. They, if you've seen them, the band, the name has changed, their entire look has changed. She's incorporated the fact that she lived in Japan and has a whole part of herself that's now really strong in the brand. And I'm like, this is just
Yeah.
incredible. I'm loving it. And it's so good. It's,
Feels so otherworldly. It's
yeah, it's
like,
worldly. Yeah. And
felt
I'm
like
so,
I was watching a movie actually. Yeah.
very true. I'm like, ooh,
World, basically.
John Wick 5, you need this.
Yeah,
John Wick,
soundtrack week 5.
yeah, or soundtrack, it would be 6, I guess. Ballerina is the new 5. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I do agree with you. It's very cinematic. It feels like a
Yeah.
film. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, so cool. Oh, so what are you most excited about leaning into next, either creatively or personally? The reveal.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's both. Like creatively, I think it's so I'm actually learning more and more about music production. So for some of the songs on this body of work that I'm putting together, I'm going to self-produce more of it, and then work with producers as on the co-production and the mixing. And it's just really exciting to own that part, because now that I understand more of it. And then the other thing personally is I'm actually going to be spending the rest of the year in Europe. So not too far away from you. I'll be in Berlin and I will be, yeah. I will be learning about music production in Berlin. And I feel like that city is just rich with music and with people who aren't afraid to be weird. So I'm just so excited to learn.
I totally agree with you. No, number one, we're hanging because my intention is to come to Berlin. Like that's
Nice.
because and same. I've been seeing a bunch of artists in Berlin that I'm like, there's some really cool music happening, and I definitely have a few friends to introduce you to. So we'll make that
Okay.
happen. That's exciting. Like I think that those kind of risks and those kind of changes, same. Like you're going specifically to grow in a certain way, but also just that change of life challenges you to like just you see the world differently, you exist differently. I
Yeah.
was someone was just asking me like, you know, so I'm in France. It's like describe like look at yourself like Wendy USA and look at yourself Wendy France, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're so different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's a lot of the things I wanted to be there, I couldn't be until I was here. And
Mm.
and they're not all internal. Like my internal is different because there's a lot of external differences. Like just so many things that are different about living here that allow me to like let go in certain ways or not be worried
Mhm.
about certain things or just and so some of it can be, you could say, is cultural, but some of it is just very practical. Or my
Hmm.
wife has family here, and even though I have amazing friends in LA and we had a nice support system, it's different than the experience of family that I'm having here. And I'm like, oh yeah, like that. There's just certain things that feel much more secure because of that. So it's not.
Wow.
It's yeah, like my internal is different because some of the externals are different. You know.
Wow.
Um, but you going to Berlin, like again, you're just going to meet a whole new people. You're going to be living in a different culture, and you get to see like, oh, I, I'm 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 making different choices, or my behavior is different because it can be here, or it's even
Yeah.
expected to be here. And I like this one. I like it. I like doing it this way. I
Yeah.
lived very European in the States. I would go to the market every other day or every few days, and what do I want to eat today? That's very European. Like I
Yeah.
never packed my fridge. It was like, what do I feel like? What am I going to make tonight? And I'd get that,
Yeah.
and you
Do
know,
that too. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's very European. I also did that when I was young and poor because I couldn't stack my fridge, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's very just, and also it's fresh. Like things are fresh, so you can't even keep
Yeah.
them long because they're done. Like you got to cook them; they will go bad. They're just fresh. They're not as much preservative. So there's just I'm so excited. I'm excited for you to have just a
Yeah.
different life experience. It's
Me
rewarding.
too.
Yeah. The input is actually different. Like the input coming to you is different, and then you get to experience yourself differently. It's cool.
Yeah. I feel like every place, like you said, brings out a different version of you. So I'm excited to meet that version of me.
I spent half the year for 3 years in India, and absolutely, like I brought New York Wendy there to like get stuff done, and then I would try to bring India back with me to New York to be like, slow down, let's be,
Uh,
let's like don't do so many things in a day, don't overschedule yourself, like. Um, And people used to say to me, "Oh, it must have been really spiritual." And I'm like, "Yeah, but not in a like Om Shanti Om kind of way. It was spiritual in that like I had to look at myself all day and like see my entitlement or see like my expectations and be like, it's not how the
oh,
world exists over here. Are you gonna like go with this flow, or are you gonna like demand it the world to bend to you? And so you have to
wow.
like look at yourself. And so it's not pretty, it's not, yeah, but it was amazing. It changed me. It changed me deeply. Yeah,
Wow.
I loved everything about it. Really
Wow.
did. Even the chaos or the yeah, especially the chaos. Like there, I just really loved it. Yeah, loved it. I think also like we talk about. I mean, you take you everywhere, and yet everywhere can change you. Um,
Yeah.
but there's something in that I wanted to. There's something I would. What was that train of thought? I can't remember what I was going to say. Thought there. I'm gonna try to find that thread again. Um,
Yeah.
oh,
It'll come back. It'll
it'll
come
come
back.
back. It'll probably come back. So, if you were to talk to young artist you today, and you could tell yourself something what advice would you give to young you now?
Wow. I feel like young. So I started my artist journey feeling really behind, actually, because I didn't start to write songs until I was, early to mid 20s. And
Which is
I
not
just
late.
Right. But at the time, I felt like, oh my God, I'm so old. Like, people are like famous by this age. How am I ever going to make it? Like, there was just so much hanging over my head. And I think what I would tell that version of her is just focus less on all of these outcomes and expectations and all the rules and this and that, and just focus more on the joy of creating and make as much, like, spend as much of your time and energy creating as you can, instead of worrying, because all the worrying is actually sucking your energy from getting better as an artist. So just spend as much time creating as you can. And the only time to spend as much time creating and energy doing that without burning out is to allow yourself to explore, and it's to not stop the process. So that is what I would tell her.
That is some beautiful advice. I would say that's good advice for everyone and anyone at any time. Yeah. That's wonderful. Ah, Iffy, I adore you. I adore you as a person. It's a really a privilege and honor to work with you. And um, you send me before every vocal session. You send me an agenda for the session, and um, it's all evidence of like the respect you have for your work, but also the awareness you have. Like I've been doing this, and I'm struggling with this, and I see that when I do this, it's stronger, but I'm not sure why. And like all of
Mm,
that shows me like all the play you put in,
mm, mm.
and I love it because you're coming with information and asking for support and direction. When I start a session with someone and I'm like, "Tell me how it's been going," and they're like, "It's okay. Yeah, everything's okay." Like I know that person's not doing the work because they actually don't have information to tell me, right? Whereas
Uh,
you have so much information because you're playing and doing the work and you're getting information back and then you're taking note of it. You're like, "Oh, um, and I love that. Like I really admire and respect that, and it makes it a pleasure to work with you. And then just your growth through Compass and after, and I just the next, it's not going to stop. Like the next project and the next project, like I'm so excited to see the momentum of it keep
yeah, me too.
evolving. Yeah.
And I
Um,
just wanted to say, like, thank you so much for the work that you do, Wendy. I know, like, we all feel the same who worked with you, but it truly is such a light in this industry,
oh,
and it makes such a big impact.
that's thank you. It's really it's beautiful to hear. It gives my life meaning. Like my purpose is to empower people and to know that I'm having a positive impact is literally the meaning of life. So thank you.
Yeah.
It's really a
Yeah.
privilege. I love doing the work. I
Mm,
mean, I absolutely love connecting and empowering. I love showing up to my Compass Momentum meetings and just like I'm here to do this thing. I, you know, I love
yeah.
it. um, awesome. Is there anything else you want to share? I mean, I'm happy to close out. I think this it's wonderful. It's just been a beautiful conversation, and I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. I'm really proud of you, and I'm excited for the project.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited to just kind of unveil this new era. Yeah.
Yeah, era. Yes.
This new era.
And
Yeah.
for everybody watching, listening, if you are curious to know more about Compass, it's link in my bio on Instagram, on my website, wendyparr.com/compass. If you are a developing artist, I have the whole Compass Academy of artist development modules that you can take. And Compass is really for the pro who's in the business, working full time at it. Like you are, it's not for not knowing yourself. It's honing in and refining and elevating the artist that does know themselves. So if it interests you, please comment Compass and Instagram. You can comment in the Compass in the comments. Check out the link and apply. We are our next cycle. I'll see you, Ify, at the welcome party. Our next cycle actually starts in July. On the 8th is our welcome party. Our official first date is the 16th, and we're still reviewing applications. We have amazing people in the program. I'm so excited to. There's people in it I already know. I want to connect with specific alumni. I'm like, oh, you all are going to really gel and like be inspired and like connect. So I already see some of those connections I want to make. Um, and then we'll have our next one in the fall. So yeah, I'm excited. I really love the results that I'm seeing for the artists. It's exciting and it's the world of art I want to see. And selfishly,
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see great art that people are fulfilled and happy making, and then that gets us better art and a better industry.
Yeah.
More,
Yeah. I feel
more
like
good.
every generation of art just keeps getting better and better is how I feel.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, thanks for tuning in. Ask questions, DM me if there's an artist you'd like to see me talk to, and or just you have further questions. Um, if you find on Instagram, can you drop? Well,
Sure.
on my Instagram, she's tagged in
Yeah.
the Compass Backstage, so you'll see her there for sure. but also just drop it in the comments, and let me make sure I can do this here. Actually, I will drop you in my comments too,
Okay.
and
Okay.
find her music and all the cool things that she's doing, and follow. Join the mailing list so you get to be present for the reveal.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, you know what I need to do? Well, we have. Yeah, I'm just going to take a little snapshot so I don't forget.
Ooh, okay.
Just so we have a capture the live for a second. Thank you all for joining. My next guest will be in 2 weeks, and next week I'll be back live just chatting about things. All right. Thanks, Yify.
Bye.
Yify. You're awesome.